What's up, everybody? So you want a crypto here in the deep, dark jungles of my garage. Man, it's just above 30 degrees Fahrenheit in the garage now. But I figured some people are in the red, and you needed like a little bit of a release, right? So I'm thinking maybe a SoYo Crypto Boxing Club day. Let's do a little speed bagging. What do you say? You get the idea. Anyway, I'll put a clip at the end, and it's cold here, so I wanted it to feel warm. That's why I set it up like this. And then I thought it'd be fun to maybe do some boxing videos with a gorilla mask, and that lasted one video. I'll show it to you at the end if you want to check it out. But on the way, BTC the market, and we'll talk about that. What is up, everybody? You gotta have quick hands. That way they don't steal my crypto. That's my purse, mister. Alright, man. It's looking a little ugly right now, huh? Red rum. I zoomed in some of this for you right here. You can see this is back at the last bull run. And, you know, you see the little one and the big peak here. So what's up? I'm still going with it's not over. I'm going with, if anything, if you want a reference point, this isn't technical analysis. This really isn't even fundamental. That word too. This is just looking at two peaks and, you know. But I think this one is right about here. And we're going to see this big pullback. Because if you count these, you had a pretty good one back here. You had one right here and here and here. So this is like 4 pretty good, solid pullbacks. And I believe we had like 7, if I'm not mistaken, or 6 over here in the last one. So I think we got 2 or 3 more. And I think we're doing like a little bit of a... Hey man, I may be 100% wrong. I'm not a technical analysis guy. I basically kind of self-taught. I've been to school, but... and I've taken all the traditional finance and, you know, economics, microeconomics, macroeconomics, behavioral finance, stuff like that. So I read this, I look at it as what's called a dead cat bounce. And my interpretation of a dead cat bounce is basically when you have a project, and it doesn't have to be long-term. This can be a short-term effect. It could be a long-term effect. It could be on a project that is completely dying and dead, and that people are just buying it, and kind of like a zombie coin. However, usually I think it's influenced, from what I've seen, by FUD. And what it does is, people start to be like, well, is it really dying? There's all this news saying it's dying, and this, it's usually like influenced by something external. Let's see what the dead cat bounce is a price pattern that is usually recognized in hindsight. Analysts may attempt to predict that the recovery will be only temporary by using certain... Anyway, let's see. That's not really... I don't know. You can read that if you want to, but that's my interpretation. And usually they recover... A lot of them recover from this. Okay. So let's go look over here. And you see that, right? Here's that dead cat pattern, and down. And we're going to go, this is KuCoin. And, it's going down, and then we get a little up, and then we get some down, and we're going to go probably up, maybe just a little bit more. We're going to see in my opinion, I think we're going to try and test. Let's see here. Not sure. There it goes. Maybe that support level right in here, just above, maybe 42,000-ish. And then, not sure why my KuCoin's working all funny. And then whatever this is right here, so that's 38. Like, that's probably your worst case scenario. is working down to there. And then if you get that, that's a huge bounce. But if you go anything over, man, high 30s, and then definitely if you're into the 40s and 50% on a correction, then it's over, and you'll probably see maybe a good suckers rally to get some of, maybe if you lost some here, you could watch for that. But I don't think we're there yet, and I'll explain why. Here's the dead cat bounce that we're talking about. I'm just going to close that. Bitcoin, if you don't know, here's the link. It's a coin on its own native network. It's, a store of asset value. It's not, the SEC said it's cool. It's number one in the market. It's worth like $1 trillion almost. Let's see. Right now, the market cap is $900 billion. That's not too shabby. Volume in the last, I don't know. Here we go. And you see Ethereum's right behind it. That's 180 billion right now. That's down quite a bit. But the whole crypto market itself was just a couple hundred billion, like a year ago. So this is a huge growth, right? It's exponential. So why do I think it's kind of an externally influenced drop and that it's going to come back? Because first of all, you got right here, this is high profile investors fuel Bitcoin's rise, but doubts remain over its future. Bitcoin plummets as doubts grow over sky-high valuation. Routers. Is Bitcoin headed to $100,000 in 2021, or is its price unsustainable? You can read through these articles if you want, but a lot of them are just kind of FUD, Some of them are, clickbaitish, but Bitcoin extends its slide, tumbling below $50,000. And see, this one it's the way that it's worded even, extends its slide. Dude, 50 grand is, just below 50 grand. That's cool. And then right here, especially, Bitcoin is now worth less than $900 billion. Not like Bitcoin is still worth, at least 900, but because $900 billion Bitcoin, that's a pretty significant thing. I don't know. I think it's just, even the context of the language is a bit fuddish, if that makes sense. Let's see, what was this one? Yeah, they're just talking about, it's one I'll put in the link below if you want to read. It's the same thing, just fudding on Bitcoin and Ethereum a little bit and stuff. Here's your Bitcoin. So we're at $47,000, 393, down 5%. If we look at the last month, you can see we were up here, knocking on $60,000 Bitcoin. And then we've had some pretty good drops. And if you see, we're still looking like lower low. And that's basically that dead cat bounce thing. Some people are calling this maybe a double bottom, like an uneven double bottom. But to me, this, and we're still on Bitcoin here, but it's lower, it's significantly lower. What are we looking at? 45-ish and 40, at least $1,000. Yeah, it depends on what it does now. If it starts breaking above this, then I'm wrong, and I'll live with that. It's cool. But if it goes and starts, maybe plateauing for a second and then comes down again, you're gonna see a couple of these, dead cat tumbles or bounces down, and it's gonna hit, and it's gonna probably hit right here. 37. I don't remember what I wrote down. I think I had 37.5, but I couldn't find the paper I wrote it on. Would be probably where I'd be really getting concerned. And then definitely if you get down 30, if you break 33 to 36, then we're in trouble. If those are some numbers, rough guesses you want to work with. None of this is financial advice. It's just, kind of what I see going on. And, like everything, it's like predicting the weather in the 1800s, man. I don't know. Go outside. Is it raining? Yeah, it just depends. We got to get higher lows at least, and you got to start breaking it back through some of these resistance points, and then you back in the good. Anything over 30 high 30%, that's trouble. Anything below 30%, I expect to have 2 or 3 more of those before we hit the peak, in my personal opinion. And that could be quickly. I'm thinking maybe if it is on the quicker side, we're going to talk April is the peak. If we're going to stretch this baby out through, Bitcoin's going to be the first one, I think, to kind of die down. And then you'll see the altcoins pump, and that might carry through into maybe like late summer. I don't know. If this stretches out and then people start investing and we get bigger money coming in, and the stimulus package comes in, and that could extend this whole Bitcoin rally out until maybe August. So look at what's going on in the world, and that'll change how long this time frame is, in my opinion. But yeah, the stimulus package looks like it's pretty solid to come out. So, there's that. The Fed is also looking carefully at issuing digital currencies, and now they're throwing, I think there's an article we'll get to in a minute that talks about, Janet Yellen's laying a little shade. Actually, I think that might be that one we looked at earlier. Laying a little shade on Bitcoin. How it's not a good, efficient source of storing assets or something along them lines. Maybe we'll stumble across it in a second. So, okay. I kind of want to talk about this for a second. I think maybe Ethereum, and I'm not hating on Ethereum, so don't get me wrong. I like Ethereum. There's a lot of folks on Ethereum that are doing some great stuff on Ethereum. But right now, it's people have really high expectations for what they are, and they're impatient. And you can see that they're really impatient because they're jumping over to Binance, they're jumping over to Polkadot, they're jumping over to Cardano. Why Ethereum killers like Cardano, Polkadot, Avalanche are surging despite the Bitcoin slump. And in my opinion, that's a lot of it is, maybe they're not, maybe, they see that Ethereum will be the better project later, but they're impatient and they want to get underway. That could be a lot of the Polkadot thing too. Not interested. Here, choosing a platform comparisons for Ethereum versus Polkadot. This is an old article too. This is like in 2019. So they've both evolved quite a bit. But you have the shards on Ethereum, parachains, parathreads on Polkadot. Ethereum is Solidity. Polkadot is Rust. Multiple homogeneous shards, multiple heterogeneous parachains. So let's see if I can, man, it's been a minute on my Latin. So homogeneous, that would be like a bunch of singles that are, by themselves. And then hetero, they all work together. Like single entities that work together, and then entities that work within entities, I think is how they're trying to explain that. Could be wrong though. Let me know in the comments. I'd be curious if I just butchered that. Let's see, smart contract. We don't need to really get too much more. You can talk about this on your own if you want. But you can see at the end the status. This was as of 2019, by the way. But they're going to be phased out through 2021, and that's basically what we see right now. And then mainnet launch expected and integration, and that's basically where they're at right now. I'm not sure if this will work, but this is on cryptonews.com, and I just want to show you guys. This is Cardano. Founder Charles Hoskins doubled down on his criticisms of Ethereum. It's just a fun little video. It's like real quick. Oops. Hang on, it's right here. We did that already.
It's easy to do DeFi. I laugh when people say, how will you catch up with Ethereum's network effect? It doesn't exist. It's easy to do DeFi. I laugh when people say, how will you catch up with Ethereum's network effect? It doesn't exist.
So take that as you will, but there you go. They have some serious competition, and Cardano is some serious competition. People are starting to see that. Again, not laying shade, of my own on anybody, any network or anything. And I'm not even going to say who my preference is. But I wish everybody the best, and may the best project win. How's that? The 9 public companies with the biggest Bitcoin portfolios. So let's talk about why. Let's jump all the way back here to the Bitcoin. So you see the little dip. Let's go just to the year. This big dip right here. Why I think we still have a little bit more to go. There's a little bit more gas in the tank. Here's why. The 9 biggest companies we got on this list are MicroStrategy, Tesla, we'll roll back, Galaxy Digital Holdings, Grayscale Bitcoin, and you can read the rest of them. We're just going to talk about the first couple, and it should make my point pretty clear. First one, MicroStrategy. This was just a couple days ago, 2 days ago. Buys more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, adding to massive holdings. MicroStrategy is a little bit known for making good buys on Bitcoin. You can read through this a little bit. They would not be buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin if they thought it was going to tank. That's my point. Tesla was on that list. They just bought $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. And they plan to accept Bitcoin as a payment. If they thought that Bitcoin was going to tank and it had no value, Tesla, like one of the world's largest companies as far as value, they would have figured that out by now. Just throwing that out there, but what do I know? And then the last one is Galaxy reaches $1.2 billion in asset management 2 days ago. If we're talking that many zeros with a big fat B on the end, let's be honest, folks. I think Bitcoin has a chance. It's not over. We haven't seen retail investors. We most definitely have not seen any sort of significant drop in the Bitcoin dominance to the rest of the market. And I expect to see, and now, this may be wrong or controversial, but if you look at Ethereum, it's 15%. Cardano is only 1%. And then if we go down, Tether is 1.4%, so just slightly above Cardano. And then, that's it right now. So you don't even see, there's Binance is 0.69. They're starting to make a push into Ethereum's dominance of the altcoin market. And I expect that to increase. Ethereum's going to have to put up pretty soon. I know that they have a project and it takes this. And a lot of these places, they're limited by the code that they can do. And it often takes months to incorporate changes. So, I'm not hating there either, or, laying shade or saying people are just doing their jobs wrong. Sometimes that's just the cold hard facts. Is time, and that's what it takes. But expect to see this. So, here's the last. Look at that significant dominance shift from Ethereum to Bitcoin. Look at the altcoins below here. And a lot of the coins that we're looking at making big changes right now didn't even exist back then. Polkadot, Binance, they weren't a thing back then. Chainlink. And then look at the turbulence after this. That was like a bull market, bear market, people getting rich, people getting wrecked, things going crazy, big wave surfing in a little pond. This is what led into it, and this looks similar to what we've got going on here. So I think bigger things are yet to come, in my opinion. But again, time will tell. What do you want? What do you think? Do you think Bitcoin's just going to hold its dominance and then the altcoins, because really, look, we really haven't had much of an altcoin season either in comparison to what we saw back here. We're barely even, anyway, as far as dominance goes. All right, then. And I think at the end of this one is the failed Gorilla Mask speed bag video. So that's fun. Man, that thing sucked too. It was, I don't know why I thought of it. But as soon as I started doing it, I'm like, man, this was a shitty idea. All right, man. Cheers. Enjoy. Have fun. We'll see you soon.